questions, and the chair recognizes first the member at ground zero of the last hurricane, Dr. Foxx from North Carolina.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I want to associate myself with your opening statement. Also, I want to thank the thousands of Americans who responded to the destruction of Helene in the North Carolina mountains by donating everything you can imagine to people there. Many tractor trailers of goods came from all over America. This response was wonderfully overwhelming. Unfortunately, our government agencies have not matched the care and compassion of average Americans. Ms. Criswell, I have the statement, the mission statement for FEMA here, because I looked at it and saw what you have said in terms of saying that the mission statement is to help people before, during, and after disasters in every form. But I think one of the biggest problems that I recognize while being on the ground for 6 weeks minimum, helping people, I was there. My area was very hard hit with the hurricane. But what I saw is constituents affected by the storm is how FEMA's representatives on the ground are telling people what the agency cannot do rather than what it can do. And you mentioned that you were bringing the entire weight of the federal government there. And I think that FEMA has fallen way short of that. And that's what I'm going to talk a little bit about today. Again, FEMA's entire mission is to assist, quote, before, during, and after disasters. It should not be up to disaster survivors to navigate the bureaucratic labyrinth in their time of need. FEMA appears to be plagued by poor decision-making and a serious lack of communication. Therefore, I think FEMA is not living up to its mission statement, a telling sign of mismanagement. And I want to say that I'm the kind of person who believes government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And I tolerate no discrimination of any kind. There should be an information roadmap available to those affected by disasters, including what they can expect from FEMA. You started out by giving us figures about what happened and a description of what happened. We all know that. And in every meeting I've had with FEMA, either on the phone or in person, we get this litany of things that FEMA has done, how much money it's spent. But when you really get down to the nitty-gritty, you can't get any details. What that roadmap should include is how much, what kind of aid they can expect to receive, a timeline for aid, information on all available assistance, the total federal government, as you said, which we do not get. What types of decisions will have to be made in the coming weeks, months, and years. So does FEMA have this roadmap? And if so, how is it communicated to people on the ground?
Congresswoman Foxx, I completely agree that our programs can be very complicated, and I have worked hard over the last 3.5 years to try to minimize the bureaucracy and make it easier for people to gain access to our programs.
So why are you unable to provide the basic information to those suffering from disasters in a timely fashion?
Congresswoman, we do have information that we give out to individuals that have been impacted by communities. We have several ways that they can reach out to us, but my direction has always been to try to meet people where they are, which is why we go into the communities and talk to people. We call them back if they've registered.
I was in a meeting with 20 homeowners who live really close to where I live the other day, and again, the first 30 minutes of the FEMA presentation was all bragging about what FEMA did. It is not providing basic information. If it's not doing that, how can it claim to be committed to helping people where they are?
I am happy to look at the information and the materials that were presented at your meeting and looking for ways to improve them. Our goal should be to try to tell people how we can help them instead of telling them what we can't do. And I've tried and worked to try to change that focus, or that the way we approach reaching out to people and finding ways to get to yes.
One of my colleagues recently asked FEMA where approximately 400 trailers full of supplies and aid were allegedly delivered in western North Carolina in the days after Hurricane Helene hit. He was told that the trailers were delivered to the State Emergency Management Headquarters, but they also could not share where the aid, estimated to be worth between $4 and $10 million, was actually located. Is it correct that FEMA delivered aid to the state, then simply absolved itself from ensuring the aid actually reached the people it was intended to help?
This is a partnership. Our ability to respond to communities requires a deep collaboration between federal, state, and local partners. FEMA delivers supplies at the request of the state in the amount that they have requested, and the state prioritizes in consultation with their local jurisdictions on where those supplies need to go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will have several questions to submit for the record. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. Chair recognizes